Okay, yeah. All right. So, welcome to Devorah Leah Torah class. Okay, we have started now to discuss learning parts, the book of Vayikra, as they call it, Leviticus.
Right,
Now, what does it talk about in Vayikra? Well, as it talks about sacrifices, right?
right.
The first part, many, or not, the first parsha, many laws, many of sacrifices and kohanim, priests are in this parsha. Sorry, in this book. It starts off with talking about the laws of sacrifices, okay? And as we very well know, that it's not only building a tabernacle physical, a material one, it's also building one in ourselves, right? Just like you have a material, physical sacrifice, temple with an altar and holy of holies and the whole business, the whole thing. You also have a sacrifice, right, a spiritual, in our own self. We want God to rest in us, just like God rests in the temple. Or in the tabernacle, we want God to rest in us, right? So we need to make ourselves, we need ourselves a vessel. To receive, we're able to contain, to receive godliness. Welcome, Shmolik. Um, okay, so like it says, "Va'asil mikdash, make from a sanctuary, v'shachanti v'seichem." God says, "I'll dwell inside of them." Now the question is, means them. I should dwell in it. It doesn't. The vocabulary, the doesn't make the simile. It's very difficult to understand because it says, "Make for me a tabernacle, and I'll dwell in them." What do you mean dwell in them? Make a tabernacle, dwell in it, right? So God is telling. So our sages tell us that God means wants to dwell in every single Jew. So basically, all the services, what was in the temple, even though it's material, physical, obviously material, physical things, but all these concepts, these ideas, we have to actually internalize in us. Okay, so everything in the temple, even the measurements and the you name it, whatever was done in the building of that, and even and I used to say the sacrifices and the services that were done. There's a way. There is how we find that in our day-to-day life. Okay, so with having said all that, there is an idea of it says simply, what do we bring as a sacrifice? An animal, behemoth, right? So meaning we have to bring our own animal to God. Those mean our own animal. And as we all know, within us we have welcome Lev or Leib. Within us we have a nefesh, a godly soul. The nefesh Abam is an animal soul, right? So we need to bring our animal soul to us as a sacrifice to God, right? Now, even as the temple actually physically, materially operated, you have the Kohanim, which was the main characters, or should I, that's the right word, which were in the temple were the Kohanim and Levium, Kohen and Levites. Okay, the Kohanim actually do the service, and the Levites would be the singing. We have a Levi in our group over here, so Levi was the singers, right? So what does that mean? So our sages in Zohar actually says that the Kohanim will do it quietly, roasted deliver with a will of the heart, with a feeling, right? Levium will do with songs, will sing. What's the idea of sing? So the idea of a will of the heart, the idea of basically, Zohar explains, is basically a revelation from above, we're bringing down from holiness down here. It's kind of getting from the higher worlds of bringing it down to this world. Then you got idea of singing. The idea of singing is elevating, making yourself higher, bringing something from down here higher, closer to God, right? And the same avodah ruchnis, avodah of spiritual avodah. In every single Jew, you have these two ideas: elevating from below, bringing down from above. And the Alter Rebbe actually comes along and says on this idea that the founder of Tanya, he explains that Adam ki Yaakov, and it says a person wants to come near to right, wants to bring near mikam from you a carbon to Hashem, right? So what does that mean? Other a person he wants to bring near from himself a sacrifice to God. Kind of it's a kind of a complicated or script. It's not the grammar doesn't go seemingly doesn't fit. A man, a person from who wants to bring near from you a sacrifice to God. That doesn't like, click. It should be in a person from you who wants to bring a sacrifice. Not a person wants to bring a sacrifice from you. It doesn't. Welcome, Jibel. It doesn't click, right? It doesn't just flow. So what? So what does Al Rebbe explain? Yes, that's exactly what it means. A person. I mean, obviously there is spiritual. This is called Hasidic point of view. There's maybe a simple meaning answers too, but according to Hasidic perspective of these verses, when it says a person who wants to bring near from you means a person who wants to bring near, meaning he wants to come closer to God. Adam, a person kiyakriv. He wants to bring himself closer to God. How does he do that? Became the answer is from himself. He has to bring himself closer to God. What does that mean for himself? The Torah continues. What's it mean? What does it mean bring himself? Welcome Yochanan. What does it mean bring himself to God? Which means he actually he elevates his own animal soul. He elevates his own behema bakanat, which is the animals which is inside of him, brings these characters to God. These certain characters, everything you have certain nature, certain things that you are, you cling, you're connected to certain ways. How that right? Certain, your animal also has certain characteristics. You take these characters and you use it to serve. Okay, so I mean, explaining in Hasidus is more in depth, but I just thought I will just there's a book here called Kundas Tefillah, a pamphlet of how to from the Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Chabad Rebbe, how to perspective of prayer, how to do davening. So he explains there about different types of animals that a person has within himself. Okay, that he can utilize to serve God. So I just see, I was looking at before. Very interesting. So you have a shoer, you have an ox, you have a goat. Let's see if a goat. It says a goat has, I guess, strong-minded. He has this. I haven't taken care of animals, so I'm not a farmer, but I'll take care of animals. But this is what I see over here. And a goat has this stubbornness, right? It's strong, and it's a very strong-minded, right type. So it's not so much noticed, but it's not. He's not excitement. You don't see the excitement of it, but he has it within him. He has this strong like he's not changing. He has this like I'm staying who I am, and how when do you notice it? When you want to change it, it's stubborn. I want to change. I want to stay who I am. So a person can have that character too. He doesn't look too doesn't look he looks very simple person. Looks like he's easy, flexible. Doesn't it looks so calm, But when you want to change him and tell that person, sometimes you have to change your character and become a different person. you know, you're not gonna change it. He's not gonna drop. He's not gonna change at all. Very strong in his character. Okay. Then you have the idea of an ox. An ox, everyone knows he's ready. He hits, he bites. No, he can gore. Ox can be very, a real angry. I know ferocious is the right word, but a real character, real anger, with a lot of energy and light, right? So now, this is basically a person. That's the idea of what we need to take all our characters and utilize it for Hashem. Okay, so let's continue here. The whole purpose, which is interesting, why a person sent us, as you know, a God sent us in this world, and He gave us a godly soul and an animal soul. Nefshakis, a godly soul, and Ajabamis, which is an animal soul. What's the purpose? Are we here to elevate the godly soul, or we're here to work on the animal soul? And you can probably work that one out. That the main thing is the animal soul. That's our purpose on this world. And that's why God says animal soul, not only to elevate our godly soul, the animal soul. That's what we need to do. And it's interesting that we're gonna actually listen to Torah. Lifnet mikem from you, which means a person has to bring from you, from within him, bring his godly soul, elevate it high back to God on a higher level. Utilizes godly soul that he has. But he knows he has another mission. He to take the animal soul and take it and utilize his characters, his characteristics to God. Okay? We'll learn about it in more details later. I just might as well say it now because I'm talking about it. You're gonna eat food. Okay? So you're gonna take the food, let's say, for eating on Shabbos. You take the food and we're not talking about destroy the world. We're not talking about to destroy your material. We don't destroy what you have. No, take it and utilize it to serve God. So you're gonna have good food. Yeah, I'm gonna use it to serve God to eat on Shabbos. Like the Talmud says that there was till I ate the meat, I wasn't able to concentrate and understand the study properly. When I ate the meat, my mind was clear. I was able to understand the Torah that I learned. My mind was not yet clear and till I ate the meat. So that you took the meat and utilized it to serve God. You took this world and utilized it to help you serve Hashem. Okay, let's continue what we're learning here. So now, if a person is going to elevate his animal soul, serve God, he's going to elevate the whole process. Everything's going to be elevated. His animal soul elevated, his body, his godly soul, his body, everything will follow suit. Now, you want to bring your animal soul to God? What's the first rule? The first rule is when you want to bring a sacrifice, the sacrifice has to be complete. Can't have a blemish. Actually, they inspected the animal before they actually used it as a sacrifice. They actually what's the name? Looked at it and inspected to see if it's complete. Doesn't have any blemish, right? What's the idea of a person? He has to fix himself up from all those blemishes that he has. Also in blemishes. If he has things he didn't do right. He has a mum, he has a blemish. He didn't do this right, he didn't do the other right. You see, he fixes himself up. He must be complete. So he has to fix his problem. He thinks that if a person did something he shouldn't have done, even if it was many years ago, it's still there. The Chatosi next to someone, his sin, his misconduct is there the whole time. And the person has the mission, has the responsibility to fix it. If you have a stain on your shirt and you don't clean it, and a year passes by, is the stain still there? Of course it's still there. 20 years ago, by the stain's still there. You have to take care of it, right? If there's some dirt on your wall and you don't clean the dirt or the paint stain or whatever, the stain stays. You have to you have to clear off the stain. So a person has a responsibility to maintain, to clean out, to fix up, to clean up things that he did inappropriately. Now, And that so maybe a person can say I did it. How do you know he didn't do it? How can a person maybe I fixed it, I did teshuva, I returned, I fixed my ways. How do you know he's did he really? Or he didn't really? How what's the test? Or what's the how would the person what's the I don't know what English is, but how would the person know if he really did his job? What's the way how you can find out? Because he has if a person has to have a stronger desire to come closer to God than before, right? If a person did something wrong, then it's like if someone was in very simple. A person is away from something for a long time. Person has something the whole time. Okay, it's close. You're taken away from that environment that you're in, or that food, that some, and then you don't have it. You want it. The nature is you want it much more, right? The person who is close to his parents is fine, and he lives close to his parents the whole time. Okay, he sees his parent every day or whatever, and it doesn't. If he's taken away from them for a long time, the desire is much stronger, right? Something is taken away from you that you want, that you're missing. The strive, the will to want it is much more than regular. So how is this? So if a person did what he shouldn't have done, and he fell, his desire to God should be much stronger, right? The fact that he doesn't have that desire shows he's not really complete. He didn't really fix what he should have done. So as we all know, unfortunately, Avera Guerrero's Avera. One misbehavior brings another misbehavior. One Avera, one misconduct brings another misconduct. And the second brings a third misconduct. And the third and you go further and further. It starts off with one Avera, a small little sin, a small little mess up. And that mess up can bring another mess up. And then you don't even feel bad about it anymore. The first time, I did such a thing, oy vey. And the second time, not so bad. And then the next time, it's okay. You feel great. So the fact that a person even has a desire to do something that is not appropriate, that shows he's not yet complete. He hasn't yet had the proper remorse, and he didn't have, and he's not on his path to go ahead. Now, so he needs to do that, and his tshuva is not only he did the sin is always there, so he has to always refix himself. So even if he cleared up his mess up, he has to realize, oh, it's that was good enough for yesterday, but today I need again a new teshuva because the higher you go, it's like you have a white sheet, okay, and you have a stain. You clean off the stain. Now, when you make it more whiter, the stain shows up again. In other words, the stain is something so deep in there. You clean the first layer, it looks clean. When you get to the second layer, it's still there again. And when you clean the second layer, you get to the third layer. So a person always has a job to clean up what he missed, what he did, as a life. He always has work to do. He shouldn't be bored. Now, that person. So a person can think, how is it? Come on, be practical. This is very deep, very hard. How can I do such a thing? To Shuvah or clear everything I did misbehave, I didn't do right, and fix all my misconduct, and do all this remorsing and refining and work. It's too hard. How can I do it? So the previous Rebbe actually says on this, "Mikem ubachem adavatali" is up to you, and you can. Every Jew has the ability to do it. It's up to us. And every Jew can say, when can I reach the actions of Avram, Isaac, Yaakov, Isaac, Jacob? You could do it. Every Jew has to know. Anyone who says he can't, it's just the Yetzer Hara pushing, trying to discourage him. That if he wants, he has a bit. If he wants to, he's able to. And it depends on him, on nobody else. A person can always work on him. As long as he's alive, he has the ability to change himself and to become a better and to elevate himself, refine himself. Now, there's another thing. Okay, it says a person shechs, then he what's the name? He slaughters the animal, right? So and then he brings it and brings it on the altar, like a korban, a different type of sacrifices. The first one that talks about in this week's parsha and this Torah portion, Vayikra, talks about the olah. What's the olah mean? A olah means goes up. The whole animal gets burnt up to God. So what does that reflect in our service to God? That we can elevate ourselves completely to God. Elevate us. Now, when a person how do you bring a sacrifice? You have to slaughter it. Also, what do you slaughter it? Is the animal gone? No, the animal's here. It's just taking away the life out of the animal. Right? The animal's slaughtered, but the animal's still here. What are you taking out? You're taking out the life from it. What's the idea? It means you have to take out the life of our whole excitement and our whole joy and the whole in our material life. We do, of course, we have to do it, but what we have to take away is the excitement into it, the material, physical joy of the excitement of the material part of it. But the physical, of course, you have to keep. Like as I said earlier, the Gemara says, Talmud tells us they says that good wine makes you, I guess, makes me smarter. And as I said, as long as I didn't eat the meat of the ox, my mind was not clear. I couldn't think properly. I was able to analyze the study completely. So, and it says that all your deeds that you do should be noticed God. All your deeds for the sake of heaven. So you have to. So it's not only you using something for Hashem, the thing itself counts for God. You make, like as I said earlier, you make it a mitzvah, like eating food on Shabbos. It's not I'm eating food because through the food I'm eating in order to give me strength to serve God. The eating itself comes in mitzvah. Tzitzis, you take wool and you use it for tzitzis. You take a leather or the skin of an animal, you make it for tefillin. So it's not only you take something, use it for a mitzvah, that itself counts a mitzvah. Right? The wine itself comes a mitzvah, using it to serve Hashem. The tefillin itself comes a mitzvah. It's not using it to serve God, that itself comes a mitzvah, is serving God, using the leather or the right or to make tefillin. And that's when you elevate your whole animal soul to God, then it gets that elevates your soul, your spiritual soul. So when your animal soul comes closer, everything comes closer to Hashem, comes closer to God. Right? Your love comes closer to God. And then everything so in the soul, the animal soul gets included in your spiritual soul, in your neshama, right? Gets elevated, and you bring everything up to God. Everything. And like it says in the Mishnah, you love God with both yetzes, the yetzer tov and the yetzer hara, the good inclination, the evil inclination. That comes a vehicle. That not only comes a vehicle, that comes part. That's also elevated to Hashem. So basically, the idea of a sacrifice here is not only you're just simply bringing an animal closer, sacrificing an animal. You're bringing your own animal, your own self, your own feelings, your own characters, and you're making that a vehicle to serve. Making that, elevating that for God. I hope I hope it was went across okay. Any questions before we close up?
Rabbi, it's too complicated even to ask questions.
At least I had some response here. Was I making sense? I hope I understood it.
What language were you talking about a test? Like, was that
What?
you were trying to translate that from Hebrew or Yiddish?
What
That
word?
you always say something like, "Oh, what's the word for?" And then you say a test. And so it's like, what other language is that coming from? Yiddish, Hebrew?
Hebrew, probably. Yeah. So basically,
What
we
was the
take our
Hebrew word?
animals, we take our characters, and we serve God with it. And that's basically the point of what we just the whole talk.
Yeah.
You take yourself, you take your characters, you take your things that you have in the world, and use it to serve Hashem, and that elevates the whole thing. And if a person has to feel that, don't think it's too hard for you, because God, it's up to you. It's up to you, person. You can do it.
Rabbi, in Hebrew, goat, male, female, same word or different?
What? A goat?
Goat. Yes.
A's. Oh, we have to ask our Hebrew experts over here.
Gilbert
A's,
or
A's is a goat.
Sam or Gilbert, anyone.
No, quiet.
They go, what the goat? What is it? Male and female, same word in Hebrew or no?
No.
So in Torah, in this case, we're talking about in translation into English, it says male goat.
As.
So in original,
Both of them are
in
as.
Hebrew.
Both of them you can call as. The baby is Gdi.
Yes, a younger one, right?
So, and female goat in Hebrew would be different?
I don't remember how it is. You can call her Isa.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All the best. Thanks everyone for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rabbi.
My pleasure.